Hi everyone, welcome back to the 3-Hour News Show where you are watching our signature segment, See the Ramadan Stories. Okay, so this is the week that everyone is waiting for because this is the week of the bonus, the holiday bonus, which is the 8th bonus. So I want to ask you, Adit, since you're working here at See today, have you got your bonus yet?
Yeah, I received like last week.
And then, is it still there in your bank account? Is it still a complete form of it?
It's not a complete form of that. I have to deliver it to some thing, urgent, like very urgent.
Okay, so urgent matters.
Urgent matter to buy new shoes.
Right. I don't know how the urgency is there to buy new shoes. Let me tell you, let me guess, is it for sports shoes?
Well, actually, it's not sports shoes. I love Air Jordan.
Yeah, more on the fashion side.
Yes, something like I need to collect some colors that I didn't have before.
Okay.
And they released, and I need to ruffle.
So you already have the type, but you want different colors.
Yes.
Because you get the bonus. Okay, I don't know whether it's wise enough the way Adit spends his bonus, and we want to find out more about holiday bonus, which is a distinct Indonesian custom. Now let's see this.
Yeah, the holiday bonus, commonly shortened to THR in Indonesia, is a sum of money given in direct connections with Islamic religious holiday, Eid al-Fitr.
It is usually given 1 week prior to Eid celebrations. Most use the money for family purposes or to buy new clothes, shoes, and others.
See, shoes, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, however, some could also get caught up in impulsive shopping.
Perhaps that's, what you're doing.
After receiving the holiday bonus. So let's explore what we can do to avoid impulsive shopping with our financial planner guests.
Yes, of course. You know, sometimes you think you have that bonus, in your bank account because of the holiday bonus, the 13th salary, but prices are also rising during, Eid, right?
Yeah, inflation has always happened.
Yeah.
And we have to consider about that. And every single stuff on the market, it's hike
more
also.
pricey,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, so we have now in the studio financial trainer and QM Financial CEO, Ligwina Hananto. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for coming back,
Pleasure
Ligwina.
to be here.
Yeah.
My first time in the studio.
Okay.
I usually join online.
You did join
So
online.
it's a real pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I mean, she's really funny, so let's not joke about things because it'll be too funny.
Okay.
Okay, so it's the THR or the bonus week, and everybody is, wanting to spend on their money, but of course we need to be wise and prudent, right? So can you tell us, how do we actually need to manage this bonus?
We do need to acknowledge that this is something very Indonesian to receive. I don't know whether other countries have this kind of bonus related to religious holiday. That's like unheard of in other countries.
Yeah, Indonesia is the
and so of course for some people they may want to use it for paying their loan installment, additional loan installment or some investment. But let's be honest, we spend our THR for the Hari Raya,
Yes.
right? So, and there are different ways of spending it, but you can sort of put it into three big categories.
Three categories,
The first one will be your traveling, because most of us will go mudik, of course.
Yeah, homecoming.
And then the second one will be for helping others,
Like
charity,
zakat, alms.
zakat, sedekah, and all that. And the last one will be shopping.
Oh.
Which one has the biggest portion out of the three?
It will depend on the kind of life that you are leading. For example, I have both my parents and in-laws living in Jakarta. So I'm one of those people who are not so lucky we don't go mudik anymore. And of course, for some people, even if they don't go mudik, they still travel for holidays. Some people actually fly out of Jakarta to go to Bali, to go to Bromo, to go to other places, even though they're not there for their families. This will take a big chunk of it because it's symbolic to spend time with your family.
True.
And that will take out a lot of portion of it. But the one that I'm more concerned is the shopping part. We need to have serious conversations.
But before we deeper to talk about that, I just want to asking, by the percentage, like every sack, like you said about travel allowance,
Zakat allowance or
and
alms allowance.
shopping,
Yeah.
like by percentage, like the normal and or the fixed number.
There's no rule of thumb to apply. For monthly expenses, you can put a rule of thumb. I call it 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's exactly it,
For
yeah.
our monthly salary to spend for the entire month, all our expenses for routine monthly expenses. But for the THR itself, there's no specific portion that we can spend on because you and I will have different needs and wants. I don't do mudik, so I spend a lot of it for charity, for example. I'm just saying this. But for some other people, you know, when you're single and you're having a good time, you're still living with your parents, there's no reason to spend more on the Hari Raya itself. Then you want to spend it on yourself. And I would say this is a very personal matter. So let's not judge people, but I really need to address the elephant in the room. Why would you need different kinds of shoes? The same type in different colors. We need to have conversation about this.
Got you. Got you.
I'm ready.
I'm on to you.
I know. Well, you're not the only one. I mean, I've probably was in your shoes as well before. But, you know, after I think about it, if you only spend it like that doesn't mean anything. The bonus will just disappear in an instance, right? Okay, so before the Eid though, but in the month of Ramadan, we tend to spend as well.
Yeah.
Okay, the prices are higher for the groceries, for example. And also we have the tradition, again, in Indonesia, to have bukber or iftar outside together.
Or sending hampers.
Or sending hampers, exactly, like very pricey hampers to like 100 people, right? Okay, so what do you think? We should be able to tighten our, belts in this case, right?
True, but let's just be honest. Eid al-Fitr comes every year. So this is the kind of topic that you know what we're supposed to do, right?
we know what
And
to
there's no way we can stop people from sending hampers. There's no way we can tell people, you need to, hold back a little bit. I don't think so. After 2-3 years of the pandemic and you don't get to see your family a lot, I think this year people want to go on, people want to let go a little bit. So I think I would suggest let's do this, what I call the matching concept. Matching concept is when you match your monthly income with your monthly expenses, your annual income with your annual expenses. So there's a difference between the Hari Raya expenses and there's a difference between the Ramadan expenses.
Yeah,
I think
that's
this
true.
is the one that we need to acknowledge, and therefore, for the whole month of Ramadan, you have your monthly salary that you need to manage to make sure you buy everything with your monthly salary. But for the Eid al-Fitr itself, that's why we have the THR. So let's make sure we don't mix it up.
Mix it up, that's
because
right.
for some companies, they already roll out the THR and the April salary this week or next week.
True.
And then after that, you won't receive your salary again until the end of May.
So you have that very long period
without additional income, without money coming into your account.
That you need to put in mind,
So we need to split between what we need to hold on to until the end of May and what we can spend during the Hari Raya break.
Oh my God, yes.
So, but how we should to spend our bonus?
Okay.
Do you have a
I mentioned
diagrams
there
and
are
graphs?
three big categories that you can put into different expenses. The first one will be the traveling bits, which is mudik, of course.
Right.
And included in that is not just mudik, those who choose to travel for holidays will also have to spend more on that. But the second one, which is more into charity and helping others, this one includes the THR for all people working with us.
Yeah.
So if you have a personal assistant, if you have the team at home, your cook, the nanny, the
drivers.
housekeeper, the drivers, the security guards, they need to receive their extra THR from us. And also the zakat and sedekah. Let's not forget that we have the zakat for zakat mal.
Yes.
And then your income zakat, and then there's your fidyah as well, and then your zakat fitrah. And some people forget, 2 months after Eid al-Fitri, we have Eid al-Adha.
That's
That's-
right. It's
yeah.
not long apart.
No, just 2 months. So you need to understand that
Separated, yeah.
for some people, you have spent so much for Eid al-Fitr and then you're forgetting we have another one without a THR helping you out. So let's make sure at least we have some money stashed away so we can do our korban in the next 2 months. The last one will be the spending. So I specifically want to address this spending habit, which is more like getting out of control for a lot of people because they're forgetting about the other two categories. For the shopping itself, it's not just about getting new outfit. It's not just about sending fancy hampers, but also Eid al-Fitr is about being together. So there's the open house expenses that you want to, spend more
yes.
to. The first year of the pandemic, I couldn't go into my parents' house. Had to stay outside the gate and just wave at them. Second year, we got into the house. The third year, my parents were like, let's invite people, but everybody has to do their swab antigen test, This year, I think a lot of people will go, we're going to see everybody. And so if you last year get 50 people at home for the day of Eid al-Fitr, this year you might get 100. So the expenses for that will be higher, and therefore we need to manage how much are you going to spend for the open house, and how much on the hampers, and how much on your new outfit. We have limited resources available with this THR money, and therefore I think you need to start talking to your family and carry the burden together. Don't let just one person spend all for the open
I like
house.
that. Talk to a whole of family members about the challenge.
Yeah, because I mean, if you have an open house, for example, at one of the elderlies of your family members, and then you want to have the burden on that specific person, I think that's unfair,
That's not
right?
fair, Let's go back to the root of our culture is gotong royong, which means 10 people helping one person instead of one person helping 10. So
I like that.
being together is the root of Eid al-Fitr. Let's go back to that instead of the spending.
But what about this, the tradition that we usually have during Eid al-Fitr, where we actually give ang pao to the younger kids? Some people say if you're already working, you have to sit there and be the one who give, right? Okay, so how much money should we actually allocate for this? Like the percentage? It's not a must, though.
No, it's not a must. So we had a new rule in my family, and my dad said to everybody, it's not compulsory. You can give out if you want to, but a long time ago in my family, we decided not to give money for the kids because they finished their fasting. Because we don't want
like
kids
a reward.
to think fasting needs to be capitalized, monetized. And therefore, we had like a talent show for the kiddies every year with my cousin's children. And so after the kids perform, and then they will receive their little envelopes, and we don't need to know how much money is in there. And we taught the kids that whether you get 1,000 or 100,000, you need to appreciate whoever is giving it, and there's no name to it. And therefore, those who are less fortunate, don't have so much spare money to give out, they don't have to feel ashamed about it.
That's true.
Go back to the main idea of Eid al-Fitr, which is togetherness. Family sitting together, having a lot of time to get good time together. It's not about the money, it's not about the spending, it's about family getting together.
I'm afraid next year when the kids get smarter, they will be selling tickets for performance, right?
But actually, the kids, like this generation, it's smarter than us. They're not asking about money.
They're asking about bonds.
not only bonus, but they talk about
bonds. I'm thinking about
Government bonds.
Yeah.
government bonds. Okay, they talk about the vouchers. They talk about they want to going for tickets, like concerts and anything. And yeah, you have to consider about that, because as a person who working and people might assume you having a lot of money. You have to say no.
Yeah.
I have to learn to say no.
Let's remember that is culture can change, and we can determine where this culture is going to direct us to. And so when we change the rules in our family, that sort of help everybody not to think fasting needs to be paid for.
Like that.
And that sort of help people to not feel ashamed they can only give 10,000 instead of 100,000.
Like that.
So
a lot of education.
There's a lot of good education about money for the children too. But always try to remind the kids that this is not about the money. This is about family getting together.
It's not talk about the money. We're gonna talk this deeper, but see, the Ramadan stories will continue after the break, still with Ligwina Hananto. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
Still about money.
Bye.